Busy Night Spot, we've decided to test exactly what people's eyes get up to, with the help of psychologists Ben Tatler and Kathy Hughes. Some volunteers have agreed to put on a headset that will record every move made by their eyes.
Well, an eye tracker gives us the opportunity to see where we're actually looking, and this is kind of important to record because the eyes are moving about all the time. They're darting around 3 times a second, and we're certainly not aware of this, so we need some kind of piece of equipment that's going to show us what's happening.
Our volunteers think they're going to the back of the bar to be tested by the psychologists, but the real test is actually before that. They're asked to wait next to 2 women and a man who've been planted there, all attractive models. How much will our volunteers ogle them? And if they do, will they know they're doing it? Time to play back the tape, and our first victim is in for a surprise.
Check this guy's face as he went by. Did you realise that you were looking at him?
No, I noticed someone over there and they were laughing at me. That's all I did. But not that particular person.
She was very interested in our male model in the sleeveless T-shirt. And it's not just his face she's checking out. Next, she takes a look at the bloke's bottoms along the bar. And she had no idea she was doing it.
It's an eye-opener for me. I'm amazed. Absolutely. Absolutely.
In fact, all our volunteers claim they weren't aware of where they were looking.
Did you realise how much you were looking at them? Because you're looking at these 2 girls quite a lot.
In our test, the women actually ogled more than the men. Our last volunteer thought she was just talking to her friend, but her eyes were all over the guy in the camel coat.
I'm really embarrassed. I don't even know that there was a guy in the bar with a camel coat on, and yet I must have been sat looking at him. Oh my God, oh no.
Our brains are so good at people watching that we do it automatically without even realising.
I see you, baby. All right, don't touch me.
So I guess the great thing about looking at eye movements and looking at where we look is that it does give us a window into the way that the brain is working, what the brain is interested in at some kind of subconscious level, even though it never gets to the point of us being aware.
Our eyes never settle, and there's a good reason why they're constantly darting around. It's all to do with the basic design of the eyeball. Ophthalmologist Dr. Bill Elwood takes a snapshot of the back of the eye.
What you can see here are blood vessels running over the surface of the retina, and beneath them are light-sensitive cells, which allow you to see.
Lining the inside of each eyeball, there are over 100 million light-sensing cells. But only the bigger cone cells see in colour. And amazingly, only in one tiny area of each eye are there enough of these cone cells jam-packed tightly together for sharp colour vision.
Most of the retina gives you vision which is quite blurry, apart from this very small area in the middle.
Just that smudge that we can see there.
This little smudge here that gives you really fine, detailed vision.
And that bright spot is even odder, an area which is completely blind.
That's where all the blood vessels come in and out, and where all the optic nerve fibres go back to the brain. And there's so much going on there that there aren't actually any light-sensitive cells in that area, and that corresponds to your blind spot. So it is a very odd design.
So if our eyes are designed with a blind spot and a mostly blurred image, how do we see the world in such intricate detail and vivid colour? The patchy image made at the back of the eye is just the beginning of how we see. As our eyes dart around, we make sure that anything interesting is lined up on our sharp spot, so we get a good look at it. And you don't know you're doing it because the brain takes these jerky snapshots and creates a nice smooth movie of the world. And the brain also compensates for the blind spot. Because our eyes give us slightly different images, we can combine them to give one complete picture. Our visual system is constantly keeping track of what's out there and where it's moving. But it goes way beyond that. Sometimes we can even see things before they've happened. Scientists have recently discovered that baseball hitters do something quite extraordinary. The ball is moving so fast that the hitter can't simply watch the ball as it comes towards him and then adjust his swing. So how does his bat end up in the right position? Your average novice tries to follow the ball through the air and then take aim. That's disastrous.
Impossible, I don't even know how you catch it.
Top baseball stars like Gabe Kapler don't even try to watch the ball.
Yeah, they say that it's almost impossible for us to track the ball actually from the pitcher's hand all the way into the catcher's glove or when we make contact with the ball, but you know, I don't know if that's true or not. All I know is that natural ability tends to take over, and the repetitive action that you do on a day-to-day basis as a hitter tends to take over.
After facing thousands of throws, Gabe has learnt to see into the future. Scientists have discovered that within a few thousandths of a second of the ball leaving the pitcher's hand, Gabe's brain analyses the speed, spin and angle of the ball, and then he predicts where it's likely to end up. So he's swinging at the ball before any normal human being would know where it was going. And he does it with astonishing accuracy. Most of us aren't quite that skilled, but every time we cross the road, we all use our eyes to predict where things will move. With each glance, our brains are whirring away, working out where cars will be so we can dodge the traffic. We rely on our eyes to guide ourselves around the world. It's all about coordinating our sense of vision with our bodies. But we're not even born with the basics. Babies have to learn where things are and what they have to do to grab them. And until they get it right, it can be a frustrating process. As adults, we take it all for granted. But in Chicago, psychologist Hubert Dolezal has devised a bizarre way to test how well our brains can adjust when everything we've spent years learning is turned on its head. He's built a set of goggles that flip the world upside down.
Hello, Hubert.
Hubert has been wearing his goggles non-stop for 2 weeks now. We're going to see how well our human guinea pig learns to cope after just a few hours.
That is so...
At first, it's totally disorientating. But at the end of the day, we're going to see whether it's possible to ride a bike with the goggles on.
I'm right here. Now, here we go. Let's shake hands.
First, it's back to Hubert's flat. And to start with, a simple task that any child could do.
It's so weird, my hand is just